fuck to look, you hear that? Hold on, let me take that out.
All them bitches come my way, cause they see the dog. Rolling on my wrist, but I can't stop time. All these borders in my way, but I'm hopping gay. Bad bitch saying freaky like I'm Kevin Gay. Chanel.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sai here, another handicap heist episode, you know what I'm saying? Give you another self-defense story time on what it was like, you know what I'm saying? Fighting with the cyborg arm, you know what I'm saying? This your boy, the one-arm phlebotomist, future nurse, one-arm street brand designer, one-arm street brand owner, one-arm travel vlogger, one-arm black YouTuber, one-arm wizard, all that, one-arm business owner, man. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody having a good day. Y'all crippling all roadblocks, y'all accomplishing all your aspirations and anything that y'all had set for 2024, and y'all working and striving and doing all the necessary due diligence to be able to make all those come into fruition, man. And first and foremost, I just want to say I'm forever thankful of all the vivacious and effervescent supporters that we just continue to come across within the channel, man. I'm forever thankful, man. But yeah, but really first and foremost, I'm just very thankful to be able to be born in America too as well, because if I was just born in any other country, I probably would not have access to the resources to, you know, be able to you know, have my mom, you know, go to the hospital, and me having the necessary doctors and surgeons and resources to be able to be alive, you know, right now today, you know. There wouldn't be no Sai if I was born anywhere else, and I'm forever thankful to be born right here in America, man. And yeah, and the other thing that I would say too is like having a physical difference is like having a Call of Duty skin while everybody else is like a default character, man. I just had a very fun, you know, unique experience that I would never have if I was just born like a default character. Like, just I got some funny ass story times and friendships that I was able to cultivate and develop, you know, within the course of the years, and I'm just forever grateful of just everything, man. And one of my very first fights I was like 2 or 3 years old, man. I was fighting my cousin in the kitchen, but I don't know why we was fighting in the kitchen, and they said that I was just giving them just nothing but left hooks, man, and they had to break both of us apart. But I don't know why I was fighting my cousin, man, you know. But yeah, but my other fight, like my real like fight that I classify as like a fight, was in like kindergarten. And in the kindergarten I went to like a Spanish dual immersion school, so it was English and Spanish, and my class was English. And like after lunch they would you would either go to like your electives, or you would have like a homeroom class that you would go to depending on your academic level and your grade. And they always moved me to a Spanish class, so that's like another reason why I'm able to understand and speak Spanish. Like I can read it and write it more than I can like speak it, you know. But yeah, like mis amigos enseñaron español en la escuela, en la y yo fui a la escuela con mis amigos y yo soy de San Francisco, me llamo Sari, yo hablo español y German, y a mí me gusta comer todos los días, y a mí me gusta viajar todos los días. But like that, just a little bit of Spanish, you know, here and there. But yeah, so my school was like a Spanish dual immersion school, and I was like very close to my teachers too back then too as well. Because another thing too as well is being born with a physical difference, it causes you to be more intellectually aware and more intellectually articulate compared to your peers. So I was able to just have conversations just about life, and just travel, and talking about history and just different topics and whatnot. And my kindergarten teacher, like, well, I was so close to her that we knew like her husband. When she left after that year, she moved to Southern California and had like 2 kids, I believe. And yeah, you know. But yeah, so this day of the fight, And +2 in elementary school, you also have like a very specific line number. So in elementary school, we coming back from recess and we standing in line ready to walk into class, and everybody is all standing in their specific line number. And my line number was the same one all the way until I got to high school. And at the high school, it like switched, but it was the same number, but it was an even number times 2. But yeah, that's a different story. But yeah, so we standing there in line, and I'm gonna call the kid, I'm gonna call him V. That's gonna be his pseudonym. His pseudonym is gonna be V. So V is just like throwing rocks, and he kind of like zeroed in on my head. So first couple rocks missed, and I look back and nobody doing nothing. They just standing there. So then a couple more rocks get thrown, and then he hit like a big ass rock on my head, and I'm like, who threw that? And then when I say who threw that, that's when everybody else, they all turn around, they all point at him. So then he's like 4 people behind me. So when I turn around, I hit him, and the way I hit him in like in his beak, like all right here. So as soon as I hit him, he just like kind of fall to the ground, like oh, kind of sideways. He just crying, and then like 5 seconds later, the teacher come out running and whatnot. She's like, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? And then everybody was like, oh yeah, sorry hit him. And then Miss Veronica, she was like, oh no, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Here, go in the classroom. But she told me to go to the pod, and the pod was like a little teacher's office. So the way our classroom was, you had like a little, you could go to like the classroom, and then once you're in the classroom, it's like a second door that you walk into, and once you walk into that second door, it's like a whole little pod to where you have access to like all the other classrooms you can go into, and it's like a little cafeteria, like a little bathroom. It's a little microwave center. Then you got like little special ed classrooms right there where you could go use the bathroom at. That's where I always use the bathroom at to go change my undergarments too as well. But she had told me to go to like the little pods area. And another thing too as well is I was always articulate of everything that I had experienced and whatnot, and they knew my history of character, so they always knew that every time. Well, this is my first fight, but before that, after I started having like a whole bunch of fights, they knew my history of character, so they knew that, you know, I was not the one that was starting the problems and leading the altercations, you know, because they knew that I was always quiet, I was always reserved. You know, I only spoke to like a couple people within the classroom. I only spoke to people unless I was spoken to, like that, you know. So if there was an altercation, everybody knew that there was another person who tried to antagonize me, and I'd walk away, and then yeah, the situation blew up. But yeah. So this fight, and this fight happened in D101, and D101 was the very first classrooms that I had at that school in kindergarten, man. And that was my favorite class, Miss Veronica class. I miss her, man. I hope she's doing well. Hope everything is all good with her beautiful family. You know, she's thriving. Hopefully retired. You know, kicking back, enjoying life. Yeah. And so after that, also in like elementary school, you guys, I don't know if y'all had it too, but we had like a little behavior charts too, and it was like assorted in like different color variations. So you had like red, yellow, purple, and then like green, and then like red was like bad, yellow was like a warning, green was like you're doing good, and then like the blue was like okay, you're doing better, and like the purple was like superstar, like fantastic. So she gave me like a little red card, filled out to like call my mom and everything, and set up like a teacher conference and whatnot. And then I had to go talk to the principal, but she never sent me to the principal office because I was so articulate and told her exactly what had happened. And she was like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna sort this out, you know, to the principal, and have your parents come in and everything. And she had like the little red slip and told me to take it to my parents, but I never took it to my parents. But they still ended up contacting her because he was bleeding and whatnot, and he had to go to the nurse office. And they was like, oh, what did he hit him with? And I was like, nothing. I didn't hit him with nothing. That was pure cyborg right there. But yeah. So after that, my next fight, I had like a bunch of school bus fights too as well on a bus. This other dude, I'm gonna call him R. He grew up in the neighborhood too. I'm gonna call him R. That's gonna be his sway name. So it's the sway name is R, and I have my other best friend too in there. We're gonna call my other best friend sway name. We're gonna call him we're gonna call him C. Alright, so C. So my best friend C. So me and my best friend C, we catch a school bus because he live in the neighborhood too as well. So everybody who all go to school with each other, we all either go to the same school together and catch a school bus together as well. Or sometimes, depending on your route, you would catch a school bus to like go to like Whitney Young or Burnett, because those are like the two drop-off centers for like the school. It was like a little transportation hub, like that. That's how it was out here in the city. So like you could catch a school bus over at Ingles, and it'll take you to Whitney Young, and then you could get off at Whitney Young and then wait for your bus to go to your elementary school like that. So with different like ways to use the transportation up in the city like that. So when we was on the school bus, mind you, I don't care about roasting. I love roasting, and that's another thing too as well. I love roasting because it allows me to be able to connect with people. Okay, good. I know that you got a sense of humor. Alright, so I know we're gonna be cool now. It was just a problem whenever I had said something back, and then now everybody else laughing, and now they feel embarrassed because they didn't expect me to say something back or to be as articulate as I was, and especially when their crushes was in the classroom and they laughing too at what I'm saying at them. So it was just like, feel me, it just was meant for an altercation, but it was self-defense. So when we were on the school bus, we just roasted and whatnot, and he just get mad. And I don't know if y'all call it like bucking or whatnot, but like, you know, when somebody like buck up to you and they act like they finna like cause harm to you, he was doing that like in my personal space, and I was like, come on bro, like back up bro, like come on. And that's another thing about me, like I don't never want to have no altercation or be in no self-defense situation, especially if we was friends, bro. Like if we was friends, like why do we gotta have an altercation for? Like come on bro, like we just, you know, said our jokes, and it was funny. Now you don't gotta get all upset. Now that I see that you getting upset, feel me, I'ma stop roasting with you. But then back then I was just like, oh okay, feel me, like oh he just playing. And then we just kept roasting back and forth again, and then he had like did it again, and then he was just like, oh yeah, I'm a show this and that, and I'm just like, all right bro. So then the way that the seats was on a school bus, I'm on the right side, but we all the way in the back. So I'm on the right side all the way towards like the window. And the school bus seats, you know, they so like compactified, like very like compacted. So I'm sitting right there on the right side, and I got my backpack right there with like my little jacket. And so it's really nowhere really for me to kind of go if I gotta like move out, you feel me? So he kind of keep bucking up to me. So then when he buck up to me, that's when I just hit him like boom boom boom. And he didn't know that. Nobody knew, as a matter of fact, nobody knew that I could fight like that. And another thing too as well, I always played with tech decks as a kid, like these little skateboards and whatnot, you know, as y'all see, because also these help you with like your hand-eye coordination and your fingers as well too as well, you know. But it was just, this was like a natural hobby. Like I always loved skateboarding. Like I was always outside as a kid. Skateboards, bikes, baseball, football, everything. Knee scrapes, falling off the bikes, getting back up, fights, all that. I was always outside as a kid. But yeah, but I realized that like holding tech deck, after a while my grip was like strong with the tech deck. So what I used to do was I always carried my, who is this? Alright, yeah y'all, but I always kept this, and I realized like when you hold it like this, just from holding it, like your grip is like strong, bruh. So after I found that out, I always kept like a little tech deck, bruh. And yeah, I always kept a tech deck, man. Yeah, but let me see. Hold on. But yeah, I always kept one of these, man. So every time I was fighting, bruh, I'm hitting beak and optics, bruh. I'm hitting beak with the beat. Feel me? Just and plus a look. You hear that? Hold on, let me take that deck out. Yeah, back to that. On the school bus fight, yeah, I had one of these. Tore him up, bruh. Tore him up with the tech deck. Just boom, 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 hit straight beat. That time, that fight, he didn't hit his head because I fought him twice. I fought him in like that was like 3rd grade. Then I fought him in 5th grade before we had graduated. And the one in 5th grade that I fought him, he wanted to roast again and got comfortable. And that's another thing about him. He was very, very, very sensitive. Whenever you would roast him, he'd always want to fight and whatnot. And I guess he forgot about the first whooping that I had gave him, and he thought that he could get his little redemption back before we had graduated. That's another thing too. He was like, oh yeah, before we had graduated, he was like, oh yeah, bro. He was like, oh yeah, bro. You know I gotta get mine before we leave. And then I was just thinking in my head, I was like, what did he mean by that? But he was talking to his other friends on the school bus. He was like, oh yeah, man, we graduated in a couple months. I was just like, all right, but I was just like. That, what he said, I always kept it in the back of my head, but I never knew what he was talking about until after the altercation again. Then when they had like put 2 and 2 together, I was like, oh, that's what he meant. Cause the second time so that day Miss Monica was outside. So Miss Monica was like she was like the lady who would like watch the school bus for us, make sure it don't leave, make sure it's there, and make sure everybody is accounted for. And then like at the end of the day, she would like have like these little snacks for us, like these little like these little chocolate crackers that she would have us, and then like a little water and whatnot. But yeah, so after that, we hop on the school bus and everything. And he just roasting and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, yeah, this process is gonna be hella fun. And we in 5th grade, and in 5th grade I had another best friend too. So my other best friend, I'm gonna give him a sweater and we're gonna call him S. So my other best friend S and my other best friend C, they both on the school bus too as well. So all of us on the school bus, and we just all in the bag, and we just all just catting off and just laughing and whatnot, right? So then I'm roasting that R, and he just get all upset again. And this time I'm sitting like in the middle of like the seats, so I'm not blocked by anything. I can still move to the left and still move to the right, but my other best friend is to the left and my other best friend is to the right, and then it's like another dude to their right and like another dude to their right. So it's seats that's filled up. I can still move to the left or to the right if I have to. And he always sat to the left side, and so he just like, oh yeah, he kind of buck up again. I'm like, and I'm just like, watch out, bro. So I'm just like doing this. I'm just like, watch out, bro. So then he do it again, and when he do it again, I just hell off on him again, cause I'm like, all right, bro, he trying to show off. So after I hell off on him again, I'm just boom, 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 and this time he hit his head against the thing, and when he hit his head against the thing, he's like, and the school bus driver, we gonna give him a sweat in them. We gonna call him O. So O, he wrote hella citations for me from all the way from like kindergarten to like 5th grade. I had hella citations, but the thing is, they only kicked me off the school bus one time, but that was a different fight because all of my other self-defense fights, I was never the one to start the altercation. It's just that they had to just write up the citations just to document the incident, you know. But I was never like kicked off or anything because I wasn't the one to start the problems like they was. So he had stopped the bus and he was like, what happened? And then he was like, all right, and he made me sit in the front seat. And every time we had a fight, I always had to sit in the front seat after that too as well, cause they heard it. And every time I had a fight, it was either driving or the other, I'm gonna call him we gonna call him H. we'll call him H, the other dude driving, he used to always write me citations too as well, but he was hella funny and he would throw out most of my citations too as well, because he was like, hey man, you just doing what you're supposed to do, man. Hey, he like, and then he always told me, he was like, hey, look, don't never let nobody try to press up or bully up on you, homie. He was like, hey, I got you, man, I got you. And I was like, thank you. So every time I was in a situation, he just like wrote it up just so he don't get in trouble on his end. But I never got like kicked out or kicked off the school bus except one time though. But yeah, that was a different situation. But and that situation was self-defense too as well. But they had just kicked me off because it was just like 5th grade. And they was like, oh, well, he leaving anyway, so yeah, we just gonna kick him off. But yeah, they kicked me on the school bus for like a week, and my sister had to come pick me up. Yeah, I still am mad. My mom's in them was hella mad. So she had to take off work every day, come pick me up. But I eventually talked to them and just started back riding. I think like the 3rd or 4th day. Yeah, they was like, all right, come on. But yeah, and then after I had fought him that second time, his mom got on the school bus early in the morning, and then she like, oh, you need to keep your hands to yourself and stop putting your hands on my son and whatnot. Otherwise, it's gonna be a bigger problem than what it is. And I was like, well, your son is the one that tried to fight me, and I was just defending myself. And I got one hand. He the one that started it, not me. So then when I had said that, she just got quiet. But it was like a look to where like she knew she was in the wrong, but I get the fact that you still defending your son too as well, but you gotta make sure that your son is communicating too as well what he did, you know? So it was just like, I don't know, man. It was just like, it was like the longest 5-10 seconds ever. She was just, and she couldn't say anything because she knew her son was in the wrong and I was in the right. I was just defending myself. And yeah, and we both went to Everett. That was when I had my first loss. I had got knocked out, and it was like from the biggest dude at the school. And so this fight started off. So at the school I had went to, I'm gonna walk y'all to the cafeteria. So it's lunchtime, and we have lunch at like, it's like 11:30, 11:45 to like 12:30, like a 30-45 minute lunch. And that was when we had early exit days on Fridays. Fridays we would get out at 12:30, like the whole school get out at 12:30. And so we going down to the lunch. But the way that we enter into the lunch, you can either enter in 2 ways. You can either enter in from outside, or you can either enter in coming down from the classroom. And the way that my classroom is set up, so this was 6th grade. So if you're a 6th grader, you're on the 3rd floor, and then if you're a 7th and 8th grader, you're on like the 2nd floor. Majority of your classes is gonna be on the 2nd and 1st floor. And if you're a 6th grader, you're gonna be, majority of your classes too is gonna be on the 1st floor, except like band, science, and PE, yeah, because that's outside, yeah, obviously. But yeah, so I'm coming down from, all right, so the school, we had 3 pillars. So you got the first, you have the first, so if you're coming from Church Street on 16th, coming from the left side, if you, because I can visualize the whole layout of the school. So you got the first pillar, the second pillar, and then like the 3rd one. So I came in from the 3rd one and then walked into the cafeteria. And so when I walk into the cafeteria, we got like those little like the little High School Musical seats or whatnot, like, you know, like the little long picnic seats, or the one where you can kind of split into like an A, or you can kind of like fold up and roll up, kind of like it's a ladder or something. We had those, and then we had like the circular ones. So the ones that had like the long seats, I never sat with both of my feet in. I always sat with 1 feet in and 1 feet out, or sat with both feet out, or I would sit on top of the table and have like my feet on like a little seating area like that, just in case you gotta hurry up and move and whatnot and get out. So as I'm walking in, I sat on the left side in the middle towards the 2nd pillar. So if you was to go in, you gonna keep straight for about like 20 feet, and then you gonna make a left right there, and then you gonna see the little tables right there. So we all sitting down, and the way that I'm sitting down, I can still see the exit, and then I can still see the second exit right there, and then you can see like the little cafeteria line, because they sell like cookies and everything too as well. So I wanted to see if the line was gonna get short and whatnot, so I could go get me a cookie. But so I'm just sitting down, and my other best friend at the time, he's upstairs, but he doing something else. So I go down there by myself, and I'm just sitting down there, and as I'm sitting down there, we just all laughing and just chopping it up with, with the homies. So we just laughing, sitting down, and I'm just sitting down on my phone and whatnot. And as I'm like on my phone, I see like this object come flying, and it's like a milk, and it's like open to where like when it like hits you, it's gonna spill. So when the milk, when a little milk cart was thrown, it was thrown from the left side to the right side, and it had like spilled on me. But the way it spilled on me, it spilled like on the right side down, and I had like my fresh pair of shoes. I had like some like white, gray, and like little Air Forces. I'm gonna post a picture up on here so y'all can see them. I posted them up on my Facebook too. But I had some like brand new Air Force high tops, and it had busted over the shoes. It was like chocolate milk. That was back when Michelle Obama had made like chocolate milk like regular, like every day when they switched it. And I was like, oh, we get chocolate milk every day now. But yeah, so when he had threw it, I was like, oh damn. Then I was like, and then I had just yelled out, so I didn't know who threw it. I just seen the object come flying out, and I was just like, whoever threw that, you up. And then like 30 seconds later, some big nigga come walking, and he was like, what you say? So as soon as he come walking, he like, what you say? I put my hand up like this, cause he like the way he came, bro. It's like when you ask for help with your teacher, and you like kind of like you not sitting down writing, but you sitting down, and they like hover over you with the answers. That's how he was like hovering over me. So I'm like, hold on, bro, you're not finna just hover over me like that. So I get up, and then he was like, what you say? So it like from the interaction, you already knew, bro, it was gonna be an altercation for me. Like as soon as I would have said what I said, it would have been just a big old altercation. So it was only one thing. It was only one thing that I knew. I had to go for the beak and the optics, bro. And the only thing that I remember is just I swung and it went black, bro. Like it just went black, like lights out, bro. Like headshot, like Hurricane Irene. It just went black. It just snapped. I don't remember nothing. Only thing that I remember after I hit him, it was I remember I was trying to get up. I remember trying to enter my phone password, and it was not working. And I remember trying to get up, and I fell back down, and then it was lights out again. I woke up like 3 times, and then the third time I woke up in a nurse office, and she like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? She was just so scared and just panicking and everything. And then she like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, my head. I was like, what happened? And it was like, you got slammed. It was like the security and everything. They called it in. They had to carry you. I was like, dang. I was like, for real? She was like, yeah. And I was like, what? I was just thinking in my head. I was like, nah, bruh, no way, bruh. No way I got knocked out, bruh. They said he picked me up and slammed me on the table, bruh. And I'm gonna show the message right here. It was October 10th, 2012, bruh. We was in middle school. One of my friends, one of my former friends, text message. I'll put it up right here somewhere for y'all to see. But yeah, and yeah, that was my first knockout. But and you know what was so crazy though? After that, after I got knocked out, they had to do like the little parent-teacher conference thing. And when they did it, then when they did the parent-teacher conference, that's when we had both sat down. So like 2 days later, we had both met up in the office. right there in Miss Ellie classroom. So he was sitting down right there, and as soon as I walked in, it was like, I don't know, it was just like an automatic, like form of like respect for like one another. Like, he was sitting right there, and as soon as I walked in, he was like, "What's up?" And then I was like, "What's up?" And then he just like shook my hand. We both like shook hands, and he shook it with the left. And then when we had both shook hands, he was like, "Hey, what happened?" I was like, "Oh yeah," and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I was born like that." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up." And then he was like, "What you hit me with?" I was like, I ain't hit you with nothing." I was like, "That was just straight fist." He was like, "Oh, okay." And then it was just like, yeah. And then after that, we ain't said nothing. And then when they brought us in the back to like the little parent-teacher conference thing, we was just like, "Oh nah, it ain't gonna be no situation, just a small little understanding and whatnot." So we both had like respect for one another back then. So after that situation, it was cool. But then I fought his cousin. So that was in October. I fought his cousin like a month after, I think. And his cousin was in my homeroom class, and his cousin, like 2 months later, I fought his cousin. And then his cousin, yeah, I pieced the f out his cousin. I beat that ass down. But yeah, so the way that fight had started was, he wanted to roast too. So at the new school, you know, I was always quiet, you know, laid back, reserved. Like, I was always like on my player shit. Like, I was always just cool, calm, and collected. You feel me? Just reserved. Like, I never spoke unless I was spoken to. And I was always just, you know, by my lonely or with my best friend. We was always laughing. So every time everybody seen us, they was like, "Oh yeah," they always laughing and joking and roasting. Like, even if I wasn't friends with you, people, they would like hear us and whatnot, so they knew like, "Oh yeah, like, okay, yeah, them niggas is funny like that." So when he tried to roast and whatnot, I was roasting him back, and then he was like, "But you won't beat my ass though." I was just like, "What?" I was like, "All right." I was like, "All right, say less." I was like, "All right." I was like, "But look, I'm not trying to have like no altercation." So when he was like, "But you won't beat my ass though," that's how I knew he was losing. Cause that's another thing too, bruh. When you roasting and niggas start losing, they want to resort to violence, bruh. Like, come on, bruh, just take your L and just move on, bruh. Like, come on, bruh, you ain't gonna win every battle, bruh. You feel me? Like, come on, bruh. That's just how the game go. But yeah, so when he said that, it was just like an automatic switch. So I was like, okay, this nigga trying to fight out, but he don't even know. So what I had did was I had went down to the nurse office, cause the nurse office, she had like the guides and everything. So I had went down to the nurse office to go use the bathroom, and that's another thing. So since I am bowel incontinent, I can't use the bathroom because my splinter muscle is not as fully functional as a normal splinter muscle. So I have to wear undergarments, and so every time I had to use the bathroom, I would go down to the nurse office to go get my supplies. And so within the midst of me getting my supplies, she had like a big old supply box just of like a list of just different things like scissors, gauze, tourniquets, bandages, alcohol swabs, yeah, you know. So I see that she had the gauze, or not the gauze, but she had like the little hand wraps. And so I was like, "Oh, you know, Nurse Kathy, you know, can I please get 2 of those? You know, my hand, you know, is kind of sore." And she's like, "Oh yeah, no problem, honey, no problem." So then when I got both of them, I was like, "All right, thank you." And so so what I had did was I had got the gauze, and I just had 2 of them. So the second one I just had just in case the first one like rip or anything. So what that one was, since I knew that I was going to fight him like either that day or like just coming up soon, every time I knew that I had class with him, I would just always wrap up my my hand, just like always be ready to as well, so they would think that the hand fucked up, but it's really like for me to make my hits like more faster and grip better, man. But yeah, and I always had this too as well, my little tech deck. So I got the little hand wrap with the tech deck, bruh. So come on, with the sideboard, come on, bruh, that's devastation right there. But yeah, so like a couple days later, we coming back from recess. And in 6th grade, depending on your class, you either went back to like your homeroom or you had like PE. So we had went back to our homeroom, because your homeroom too was your like your social studies and your math, and then it was like social studies too as well. So your homeroom was like 3 classes within like that whole year. So like the first like 3 months to like 6 months, depending on the course, it would be like social studies. So you would learn about like earth science, about the Mesopotamians. Then after that, it would like switch to like math, and then you would have like a little history course too as well. So he taught us like 3 subjects. And so yeah, so my other best friend too was in that classroom as well. And then he was texting me. He was like, oh yeah, you know, this is over here saying he finna be. I was like, all right, bet, say less. So before I go into the classroom, I show up late. So I got my little hand wrap with me and everything. So I'm wrapping it up, right? So when I'm wrapping it up, I walk in the classroom, but he don't even know that I'm already up on game, because my homie already told me what was up. So I'm like, all right. So I come in there hella player. And that was one thing about me, bro. I love keeping the player, bro. If I know you want to do harm to me or whatnot, bro, all right, bro. If I know that you want to try to take my camera, I'm gonna set my camera down right there in the middle of the street for you. Go ahead. But yeah. So then he started roasting again, and he keep pacing back and forth, kind of like walking and whatnot. So I'm like, all right. Then I'm talking to my best friend, right? And then he just like talking hella shit. And then he was like, oh yeah, sorry, won't bite me though. So I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, I'm not trying to even do this, bro. So we sitting all the way in the right side. So we was sitting in the right side of the classroom, and my other best friend was behind me. And then he kept like getting up to like fake sharpen his pencil or whatnot. But he playing this move too, so the teacher don't like notice or paying attention and whatnot. And then like right when the teacher walked out, that's when he like walked up to me and try to buck up, and I'm like, back up, bro. And then I just go hell off, just boom, 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 boom. And then I just keep hitting them. I'm just boom, 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 boom. So once I keep hitting them, that's when the teacher walk in. He's like, hey. And then what'd he say? Hey. That's when I back up off of him. I'm like, all right. So when I back up off of him, I'm already prepared for him to try to like dip me. And that's another thing too. I don't know if y'all call it dips, but the first dude that had knocked me out, that was like his specialty. He could like dip anybody. I don't know like how he did it, but he would like, the nigga was like, he would move his feet a certain way, bro. That was the other thing. Nigga was like he was fast with his feet. So with this fight I was already prepared for him trying to like dip me and whatnot. So I was for me like hungry and low. Like for me, and like rush him and then get behind him. But yeah, so I was already prepared for that. But I hit him so hard, he was already leaking, and nigga was done for, bro. He wasn't returning nothing. Nigga was shocked. So then after that, that's when they had radio security in. Security came. It was like 2 of them. Then Miss Delgado, she came, and she was like, what happened? And Miss Delgado, she had my back too as well, because another thing too, a history of character. Everybody at that school too as well, they knew that, oh, okay, all right, Sai, you know, he had this little altercation, you know, a couple months ago. You know, he's you know, kind, you know, he stayed to himself, you know, that's not him. And these guys that I had fought, they was already just known to just already be troublemakers and whatnot. And it was like the first 2 or 3 months of middle school, so they already knew how they was. And she was like, oh yeah, like she was like, don't worry. She was like, you just keep defending yourself, but you don't have to worry, because we already know that they already troublemakers and they already causing you a hard time. She was like, but just always she was like, just don't say anything, and when you go to class, just don't mention anything that happened. I was like, all right, thank you. So then after that, she had brought him to the library too as well. So the security, I don't know why the security guards had us in the library before they had brought us down. So they had moved us to the library. But yeah, I don't know why the security had us up in the library, and yeah, so when they had brought him in the library too as well, I'm over here talking to Miss Delgado, and then the security, they both got and I'm right there, and his face, like, nigga just saw his face, it's just like swollen and everything, and she was just like, yeah, she like, yeah. And I was just like, alright, but I just stayed quiet. I was just like, thank you. So they always have my back too as well, man. But middle school, I fought in the locker room, had that nigga bobbing his head against the door locker. Who the what you call it, boyfriend? Yeah, I had like 7 fights. I had like 7 fights that year. But yeah, y'all, it was a hell of an experience. With the one hand, you know, it was like, I don't know. It was just like, I was able to see, you know, what I was made of, you know, just being able to defend myself by myself, you know, with the one arm.